The following segment is sponsored by HK Foundation.
Today on Hello ENC, we have Jay Yu and James Walker of Nano Nuclear Energy. So y'all, tell me a little background information on Nano Nuclear and how you're introducing a new wave of energy.
So as a bit of background about us, we actually didn't even start with the intention of being a nuclear company. We were trying to gauge what the future of the energy space might look like. And that included an objective assessment of the entire energy landscape. We considered other renewables, but we realized that the promise of those was not as relevant, we believe, to the future. So for instance, like wind and solar needed high storage costs, big infrastructure projects, a lot of land. They were very intermittent. They weren't very well suited to consistent supply of energy, which is obviously what the grid and most industrial projects need. And when we looked at the nuclear space, we realized that the largest untapped market in the nuclear space was the microreactor space, and that's the very small microreactors. You're talking about sort of an ISO container sized nuclear device that we can then use to deploy to mining sites, oil and gas sites, remote industrial locations, remote habitation, military bases, charging stations for EV vehicles, data centers. The potential market was trillions of dollars, and so that's the direction we took ourselves in.
Wow, that is so interesting. And what are some of the disrupting factors that nuclear energy will have towards climate change?
Some of the disruptive factors will be helping reduce carbon emission for the world. One of the major issues right now is there's tons of climate activists doing all sorts of dangerous stunts to lure attention to it. Instead, I think they should focus on investing into companies like Nano Nuclear Energy, and we're providing a product for the future for clean energy for the world. So instead of laying on roads and breaking paintings that are ancient, I think the key here to unlocking this is focusing on disruptive companies like Nano Nuclear on creating this product for the future.
And knowing all this, how do you expect Nano Nuclear to impact the green movement?
So there's a very real green consequence of trying to move away from nuclear. It will mean higher energy costs, and it will mean a higher energy footprint. And you can see this sort of almost reflected in the market now, where stocks in solar or wind companies are beginning to fall as the market realizes that this isn't the solution that was promised, and that a more consistent form of energy is going to be needed.
And what are some of the benefits of implementing a nuclear energy source?
The benefits of having nuclear energy would be reducing carbon emissions, obviously. And what we're doing here at Nano Nuclear is we're creating a portable solution. So replacing diesel generators. Now, what does that mean? That means we'll be able to, for example, a hurricane that wipes out an island. We could come in and replace those diesel generators with clean technology, meaning carbon-free energy solutions, right? Nuclear battery on a truck, you could say, will last up to 15 years.
Amazing. And if people want to know more information about Nano Nuclear Energy, where can they go?
They could come visit our website, nanonuclearenergy.com. Also, we've built a cult following on our social media, especially on Twitter. We look forward to engaging the public, to educating the public. There's a big movement kind of in the uranium space and the whole supply chain throughout the whole world. So we're excited about the future.
Perfect. Well, Jay and James, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us all about Nano Nuclear Energy.
Thank you for having us, Meghan.
The previous segment was sponsored by HK Foundation.